Hello, can you hear me? Somebody can listen to me? Okay. Yes, everything perfect. So I'm going to wait a couple of minutes so we can start. Okay, thank you. Okay, is somebody there yet or not? Mm. Okay. Hello, good morning. Somebody there? I'm going to wait a couple of minutes to see if somebody is coming, or I start the class so you can watch it later whenever you want. Hello, good morning. Okay, Jorge, hello. Excellent. Good morning for you too. Okay, so I just received your writing from the other day, but I didn't have time to correct it because I just received it like 2 minutes ago. But for sure, I will look at it thoroughly and correct it and tell you how is it, okay, if you did any mistakes or something. So first thing, what was the meaning of the phrasal verb from the last day? It was take after. Can you tell me what was the meaning of that, Jorge? Because I think we're just you and me for the moment. What was the meaning of take after, to take after? You can type it. You remember the phrasal verb that we were using the last day? I don't know if I have it written down somewhere. You remember what the meaning of that was? Where is it? Okay, so I'll say it then. I don't know if you aren't. This one was the phrasal verb from the last day, remember? Okay, so the meaning of this was parecerse a, okay? So, for example, I said the other day, I don't take very, very common phrasal verb, very good for you to remember and to use it in either in your spellings or writing. As you know, phrasal verbs are a lot more common in a speaking language than in writing. Okay, so very important to remember all the phrasal verbs that we're going to see each day. Okay, another thing. I don't know if you are not writing or we have a very big delay today, okay? So try to interact with me via chat, but I don't know if it's not working today. It's also because there is many people working on the internet during the mornings. So this is why it's going a little bit slow. Okay, so today is Father's Day. I guess you all know it, right? Are you doing something special for your daddies today? Like maybe, I don't know, serve a nice breakfast, or I don't know, try to be with them today a little bit more. No? Tell me. Because today is like the weirdest Father's Day ever, right? As we cannot go out shopping, or so you have to develop your imagination and do something nice for your daddies at home. Okay. All right. So we're going to start the class. Okay. I'm not sure who's there yet, but okay. I don't know if you remember the last term we were working a little bit in past simple versus present perfect, which is a part of the grammar in English that is always a little bit hard to understand or to use, okay? So it's very important to know the difference between these tenses, because these are two of the main tenses that you need to use in your writing, especially in part 2, writing in PET. Okay, so PET exam. So we're going to start with the differences between past simple, present perfect. All right? Sorry. So first thing, what do we have? Past simple. How we build a past simple test is very easy. You know that when we have a regular verb, for example, walk, for example, want, for example, love, we only need to add ed to the verb, okay? For example, love, only a d, loved, okay? So very, very easy. Okay, so the present perfect is a little more difficult, just a little bit. Why? Because we need to use the verb to have, okay, plus the past participle of the main verb, okay, the verb that has the action. For example, I'll set an example. What do you have here? I haven't eaten breakfast yet. Okay? We have the pronoun, the verb to have, present simple, normal, and the past participle. What is the past participle? In regular verbs is the past, the same that we just said, ending, a verb ending in ed. If it's irregular verb, then we need to look, to study, and to remember the third, number 3 column of the list of irregular verbs. Okay, this is what we have to remember. It's very easy if you understand it correctly. Okay, it has no difficulties. All right, so what is the difference between these two tenses? Sorry. The main difference is that in the past simple, what is important is the time when we did something in the past. Both tenses will speak about something in the past. The main difference is past simple, there is the time. In the present perfect is the action, what is important. Usually, nobody cares about when it happened, okay? And past simple, yes, okay? Let's say the same phrase in both tenses. For example, I did my exam. Past simple, I did my exam. Present perfect, I have done my exam. Okay, if I say I did my exam, hice mi examen, hice el examen, somebody will ask me when or what exam, okay? Because it's like an incomplete sentence. If I say I have done my exam, nobody will ask me anything else. Yo he hecho el examen. This means that the other person knows what I'm talking about, okay? So nobody will make another question. All right? Also, another big difference between these two verb tenses. Usually, not always, but usually, when we use past simple, the action is finished, done, nothing else to say about it. For example, I visited Paris, okay? Okay, this means that sometime in the past, I visited it, okay? I visited Paris last year. Last year is over and is finished, okay? Nothing more to do. So, and in the present perfect, simple, the action isn't finished. I haven't visited Paris, for example. No he visitado París. This doesn't mean that I'm not going to visit it in the future. Maybe I will, okay? There are also some words that may tell you what of the tenses you need to use, okay? For example, yesterday. Yesterday has a duration of 24 hours, yeah? That's 24 hours and finish, nothing else. Last week has a duration of 7 days. After these 7 days, nothing else. This is a period of time that is closed period of time, okay? So this is for past simple, okay? Okay. We have here some time words also, like for, which indicates this this time in the past. For example, I lived in London for 6 years. This is a period of time that happened in the past. We said that for present perfect, this is not important. The time is not important, okay? So this is here, with this expression, we have this difference that I've been telling you about with these two different tenses. So the duration is closed in past simple, okay? Finish the action. Nobody cares about the action because what is important here is the time when we did it, okay? This is why very often we will find time words like yesterday, last week, last year, or some others, for example, or since too, in using past simple, okay? So whenever you're going to use one of these time words, you have to keep in your mind that the correct verb to use, if we're talking about the past, of course, would be past simple. Yep. Okay, let's go now for the present perfect. Present perfect is a past tense. This is what you have to keep on your mind. It's a little more complicated than the past simple, okay? But either if the name of the tense is present, you have to keep on your mind and remember and study it as a past tense, okay? Okay, so we said we use it with have plus the past participle, okay? We have this clear. For sure, you will need to study the list of the irregular verbs to remember all past participles of irregular verbs, all right? So, important thing. All right. What kind of expressions will require you to use this tense? For example, this year. This year hasn't finished yet because we are already in March, right? So, as it hasn't finished, we will use present for perfect to use it, to express it. Okay, for example, sorry, I haven't, I haven't traveled to Paris yet. Yet, which you know that meaning is todavía, indicates that I am not close to visit Paris at all, okay? Maybe I will do it is an open close. So what we have to think about is that whenever the time isn't finished, even if the action started in the past, what we need to use is present perfect simple or continuous, depending. But today we're going to stay only in simple, okay? So this year, a year has a 12-month duration. If I'm stopped in the middle or at the beginning of the year, for sure I have a long time ahead to do the action. So, present perfect, okay? As I said, remembering here, the important thing is not the time, is the action. Okay, so focus on the action while using present perfect. All right. This week, the same. This week, today it's Thursday already. So the same thing. We have to use present perfect, okay? I haven't gone to the gym this week. All right, as the week hasn't finished, here, present perfect, one more time. All right. Today, the same with today. Today has 24 hours, but the day hasn't finished yet. So I haven't watched TV today, okay, yet, because maybe in 5 minutes or in 1 hour or at night or in any other moment of the day, I will do it, okay? So again, present perfect using today. Of course, we have some other particles, some other words that are very often on the use of these tense, okay? For example, a steal. What's the meaning of a steal? Do you know? All right. So, a steal is kind of similar, yet in some way it's todavía, okay, too. So we also have yet, of course, but yet we will use it only in negative or interrogative sentences, okay? So, for example, if I say, I have, what I wrote, I haven't visited Asia yet, means that Probably in the future I will. Okay, I'm not closed to visit Asia. Okay, so this is another big difference. Here we said that we have words like yesterday, last week, last month, this morning, I don't know, okay, last morning. But here we have this: still, yet, ever, never, okay? These words will always have an open mind to do the action in the future. As I said, I repeat, here the important thing will be the action. So focus on that once again, okay? If I say, I have never been in Belgium, that doesn't mean that I don't want to go. That only means that I haven't done it, but maybe I will in the future, okay? So again, remember this. Then we have the questions, okay? So for example, have you ever eaten sushi? Okay, these questions, we use them. I told you before that ever and never are two words that are very often with present perfect. We use these kind of questions to know or to discover, to figure out if somebody has done something in their life, in his or her life. Okay, for example, if I want to know if I don't know, my dad or my mother visited a specific country, we will use this way to ask. We won't say we could, but it sounds a little bit weird. Like, did you go to London? If I make these questions, did you go to London? Probably the person is thinking that I know that he or she went there in some time. So after asking this question in this way, the person will tell us when did he or she go to this place. Okay, so if I ask in this other way, have you ever gone or visited a city or a place, or have you ever done something, like have you ever done I don't know, risk sports or something like that, then this person will tell me when did you do it, how did you do it, okay? But if we do the question with a past simple, it's very different, okay? So when we want to discover if somebody has done something in their lives, we will use present perfect, okay? So now what we're going to do, or I encourage you to do, is to make some questions in your houses to your parents, your family. Also, now all of you have WhatsApp or Skype or somehow you can communicate with friends and family. So what I encourage you to do is try to contact with people who you know that can speak English, and ask them this kind of questions. It's a very good exercise because as we are all now very, very bored at home and we don't have lots of stuff to do, you can practice your English and also get to know better your friends, your family, people who's living with you, whatever, okay? So I'm going to leave you a board game on the web, okay? So you can download it and play with your family. But what I would like you to do today is write your own questions too, okay? For example, as I say, have you ever eaten sushi, or have you ever eaten insects, for example? Let's do it fun, okay? Fun questions, not only about places where they have been or not, or let's ask our family things they have done in the past or that they would like to do, or because with this kind of question we could get to know each other a lot better, okay? So I think it's kind of fun to do this exercise. Also, another word that I didn't tell you, I forgot before to tell you, that is very often also in present perfect is already. Why? Because already means, what does already means? Somebody answer? Not yet. Okay, already means like ya, okay? And the best position in a phrase, because yet, for example, usually goes at the very end of the phrase, but already will go in the middle of present perfect, okay? After, have, and before the action verb. So they have already finished their homework is another way to use present perfect with the word already, okay? Very important too. Remember, I almost forgot to tell you that. Okay. Excellent, Jorge, you're joining us again. Did you have any problems with the connection? Okay, I think today it's slower than previous days. Okay, so in case you didn't hear me before, what I encourage you to do today is write, or not write, just speaking. As I told you, I will leave you the board game on the web, so maybe you could download it anytime today or tomorrow. And do these questions to your family. What I encourage you to do today is to write questions with present perfect, so you can know, okay, you were here since the beginning. Excellent, Jorge, because I don't get to know who's here and not. I encourage you to do is set questions with present perfect to your family or friends, okay? So we can all know new things about each other's. All right, and one of the things that I told you we were going to do, it was learning one new phrasal verb each day. Remember that, right? So the phrasal verb for today that you will need to use in at least 3 different phrases. Don't worry about these phrases. You maybe could write them to me in the chat. Next day, we will start with this phrasal verb activity, okay? The phrasal verb of today is going to be this one. Yeah, can you see it? To come across. Do you know what's the meaning of this, Jorge, yet or no? Will you have to look for the meaning, or you know it already? Know it or don't? Okay. Then you know what, I won't tell you the meaning of the verb, because what I want you boys to do is look for the meaning of it and do 3 different sentences using it, okay? So the next day we will start the class with the phrases. You don't know the meaning yet, okay? I only will tell you that is similar to the verb meet, but it has a difference, okay? It's not exactly the same. It has a kind of similar meaning, but you don't use it in the same way as meet. Okay, so you really need to look for the meaning, and for the next day, just write 3 sentences, either positive or negative or whatever, with it, and we will start the class with this phrasal verb of the day, okay? So boys, nothing else to say for today. Thank you very much for being there. Say happy Father's Day to your daddies. Do something nice with them during the day. If you have them at home, I hope you do. And try to enjoy yourselves and have a nice weekend as well. See you back on Tuesday, all right? So bye-bye and be safe at home, okay? Do you need, how many sentences do we need to write? Okay, just 3 will be fine, Jorge, okay? With 3 sentences, it will be fine. Also, if you do the speaking activity with your family about asking different kind of things using present perfect, you can maybe write down the best answers that you got, okay? So we can share here. I don't know, maybe your parents, your brothers, your cousins, whoever you asked had a funny experience about something or did something in the past that is amazing for you and you want to share it. I don't know, just let's make this more enjoyable, okay? So you're not just listening to me all the time and get bored. Hello, Manuel, good morning. We're about to finish. Another thing, if you miss any class, okay, because you were sleeping or you didn't remember, you forgot or whatever, all the classes will be in the channel, in YouTube channel. So you can watch them at any time, okay? It's not that you can only get to see them coming here at 10, okay? They will be there until all this situation finishes, okay? So if you cannot attend to the classes, you just okay, Manuel, don't worry. It's okay. As I'm saying, you can come back at any time on YouTube and you can watch the whole lesson class, okay? So, as I say, be safe, be good, say happy Father's Day to your daddies and see you back next Tuesday, okay? If you don't have any questions, any more questions, we just finish. Okay. You were studying and you forgot, Manuel, forgot in the past. Any more questions? No? Everything's fine? All right, boys. So see you back on Tuesday. All right? Just keep strong. Bye-bye.